How's it going, everyone? My name is Rewind the Gamer, and this is part 5 of FPL. And to jump right into the team, Jaskalainen got 11 points, Coleman got 10, Collins got 6, Jagielka with 2, Bannon with 1, Morrison got 3, all of Ramsey, Hazard, Rooney, and Aguero got 5 points, but Rooney ended up with 10 because I captained him, and Suarez got 22 points, and that totals 80 points. The average was 55, and the highest was 121. I ranked 523,000th for this game week. And to look at the bench, Mignolet got 6 points, Johnson got 6 points as well, Dawson ended up with -1 point, and Cabaye could not play because he was out with suspension. And actually, I think Dawson is now out with suspension because I'm pretty sure he picked up his 5th yellow card in the match against Liverpool. And of course, I have some regrets with what happened in this game week, but still, I'm pretty happy with how things turned out. Jaskalainen and Collins keeping the clean sheet bonuses, and unfortunately Everton didn't, but Coleman stepped up and managed to score a goal. Wow, I cannot talk. He scored, got 10 points, 2 bonus points, which it evens that out, because it basically is the same amount of points I would have gotten if Everton did keep a clean sheet and neither of them got bonus points. So to move down here a little bit lower, we can see the scores, and this is the big one. I was not expecting Liverpool to beat Tottenham by that many goals. I thought maybe they could do it. They could pull it off because of how well they've been playing, except for the Hull game. But I really did not think that Liverpool would just stomp Tottenham the way they did, 5-0. And a terrific performance all around, even without Gerrard and Sturridge. So, I had my reasoning before the game week started of why I was going to captain Rooney, and he played just way too deep for him to be involved in goal scoring, but he did manage 1 assist, and, fortunately he got that. Otherwise, I would have felt really bad for not captaining one of these other players that performed really well. So Aguero subbed out at the 49th minute due to injury, so I took action and I decided to transfer him out. I don't think it's certain yet how long he's going to be out for, but just as a precaution, I got rid of him. So if we move on to the next game week and the team that I have picked out, I decided to bring in Lukaku, and I did this yesterday because his price was going to go up last night no matter what, so I wanted to make the transfer as much as possible, or as soon as possible, just so I don't have to spend an extra 0.1 million for Lukaku, who I would probably bring in regardless. So I brought him in. I was actually considering maybe like Johan Gouffron or somebody a bit cheaper, because then I could work on upgrading Barry Bannon, which I think is my next move. But I decided to go for Lukaku just because of how good Everton's fixtures are. And he's a good bet because consistently he's been bringing in points. The last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches, he's either gotten a goal or an assist. So, it's a pretty consistent play, and a lot of people have been picking him up. And I think his price may go up again shortly. So, I did lose quite a bit of money selling Aguero, moving down here to the team value. I think with both of these combined, I had about 108.3, and this is only 107.9. So, I took a bit of a hit getting rid of Aguero, but if Aguero misses quite a while, then he's going to be missing out on this game, and then midweek matches, and then again on the weekend. It's one of these weeks where there are a ton of game weeks, or there's a ton of game weeks within one actual on a calendar date week. I can't talk, sorry. But to look at some of the fixtures and what I want to do with transfers, I think getting rid of Barry Bannon is a good idea because he only played 50 minutes against Chelsea. I wasn't expecting him to do much against Chelsea, but I would have liked him to stay in until the 60th minute. But unfortunately, they brought him out. So I do think it's possible that he could do something against Newcastle if he plays enough. Like if they don't sub him out right away, he does have the potential at home to do something against Newcastle. So we're just going to have to see how that match goes and how much he plays. But if he doesn't do very well, I think I might want to bring in Leroy Fer, because Norwich, or he has been doing pretty well for Norwich. If we move back, he did not score or assist in that one, but in this one he did. He got both a goal and an assist. We take a look at how he's been doing. A couple of just two, average game weeks, but then 7 here, 8 up here, and then most recently 14 for a big score against West Brom. So he's not a bad bet. He is going up in price though, as you saw. He was in 5.9 million. And Norwich do have a couple of good games. They just drew against Swansea, and now they're away to Sunderland, and then they have a home match against Fulham, followed by a home match against Man U. And even in that fixture, something could go his way, away to Crystal Palace. But then that's a tough match. I don't expect anything. I don't expect them to do anything in that one. But then home to Hull, so, and then home to Newcastle. So wow, away to Cardiff. I have not looked this far ahead for Norwich. So that might be a good bet, bringing in Leroy Fer if you do not have him already. Or maybe some other Norwich, like a midfielder or attacker. I wouldn't recommend a defender for them, just because they're not, they're not consistent enough defensively to want to bring one of their defenders in. So looking at the actual team that I have for next game week, we have Mignolet in goal, Johnson, Coleman, Jagielka defenders, Gabai, Bannon, Hazard, Ramsey, Suarez, Lukaku, and Rooney. I'm definitely going with Suarez as captain because, as you just saw, for this most recent game week, Suarez was racking in the points, and I had captain Rooney. So I'm not going to make that mistake again. Got to make him my captain, and I expect another big game week from him, because if you take a look at these, he's just been on absolute fire, 24, 15, 22. And a lot of people have been bringing him in their squads as well. How many people own him? 43.4%. So yeah, his price is going to go up, and that should also help the value of my team, since I got rid of Aguero. And a lot of people, I saw on Reddit that quite a few people were looking at bringing in Wayne Rooney for Aguero, and he has been going up quite a bit, since a ton of people got rid of him for that one fixture where he was out with suspension. So hopefully his price can go back up as well, because it did drop when people sold him on. So looking at this team, I do expect a couple of low points from maybe Hazard and Ramsey, although they did still manage to score 3 goals against City away at Manchester City. So Ramsey could end up doing something home to Chelsea, but I can't really see Hazard doing too much. And then this clean sheet for Everton is kind of up in the air as well. I don't know how that's going to go. I can't really predict that, because Swansea have been really inconsistent. They did just draw away to Norwich. If there we go, we see it right there. But then they only drew home to Hull, and then they did beat Newcastle, who's been on form, 3-0. But they lost to, well, that's not and that's not their fault. Well, actually, they're 3-3 Stoke, home to Stoke. Like when they're home, they haven't been doing very well, except for that Newcastle game, and of course a game like Sunderland. So I can see Everton keeping a clean sheet, but I don't know if they will. Although no matter what, I am going to play my Everton defenders, just because, especially Coleman, just because how well they have been performing. Managing to get a goal, that's great from any defender, and he's been playing just insanely high up for a right back. I've been watching some of the Everton games, and he's just up there, level with Mirallas, like for half the game. It's crazy how high he pushes up. So the potential for him grabbing another goal is always there, and I'm surprised I actually didn't pick him up sooner, just because of how well they had been playing. I only just picked him up for last week, or for this week. one of those. Very recently I brought him in. So is there anything else I can say? I'm trying to keep these episodes quite a bit shorter than I have been, just because they kind of drag on and I repeat myself too much. But looking at the fixtures, Liverpool, that should be a good game for points for my my defenders as well. If these guys don't keep a clean sheet, I'm getting rid of them as soon as possible. Johnson has actually been getting bought by some people. It says it on another website that he's actually kind of close to increasing in price, but with the 2 6s here, I'm sure people will be bringing him in with Liverpool being home to Cardiff. So yeah, that's just what the team's looking like. Eventually, I could see myself getting rid of one of these expensive forwards and then going for a cheaper option, and then bringing in somebody like David Silva or Walcott, just to strengthen my midfield, and also down the line look at getting rid of some of these West Ham players, because they have some tough fixtures that I don't expect them to win, and with a 0-0 draw home to Sunderland and forcing Jääskeläinen into 6 saves, it's that just kind of shows that they aren't the strongest team. So down the line, I could definitely get rid of Collins, Morrison. I'll probably keep Jääskeläinen just because of how good he actually is. But I also might look at getting rid of Dawson just because of how well, or how poorly, or I should actually say how well they've been letting in goals. So yeah, that's just what everything's look like. So leave a like if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.